let's get down to some goal setting. Okay, before we begin writing our goals, I've noticed many times with me that I don't know exactly what goals to write down. Like I know what general direction I want my life to go in, but when it comes down to sitting and writing them down, my mind goes blank. So today we are going to do an exercise which will help us with this kind of goal setting. However, if you're very clear about what goals you want to go towards, then you can completely skip this step and move on to the next one. This is called a wheel of life. You can download the template online, it will be available with just a simple search. But it's much more interesting and much more fun to do it yourself. Just take a piece of paper and draw a circle. This circle represents your life so far. We are going to divide this circle into 3 parts. Like so. One of these parts represents your health, the other represents your wealth or work, and the third represents your human needs. We'll further divide these sections into 3 more sections each. In health, we will have your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual or soul health. In the wealth part, we have money, career, and personal growth. The third section of human needs is a little more complicated. We have our family and friends, which is our social need. We have romance, which we can say is an emotional need. And we have our passions, which essentially make us feel alive. Now that we have our map, we need to plot our coordinates. You see, each of these sections is a scale going from 0 to 10. 0 being the closest to the center of the circle and 10 being on the circumference. We want to place a point in each area according to where we feel that we are. Now, if you want to take this a step further, if you don't feel that you are currently in a good place, but you are on track to get to a better place in a certain area, then you can place your point accordingly. I'm going to do this myself and you can do it with me. Let's start with friends and family. Friends and family, I would say I'm at a 4. I've spent a lot of time in the past year focused on my personal and career growth, and I definitely need to spend more time with them. Romance, I would say I'm at a 0. Romance basically for me is either like a 0 or a 10, but for you it can be different and you can place your point according to where you feel that you are on this. Passion, I would say I'm at a 6. Not exactly where I want to be, but I'm definitely aligned to grow in this front. Now let's move on to the health section. Physical health, I would definitely say is a 7 for me. It's okay, but I really need to improve in some aspects. However, I'm aligned, as I said, to grow further in this, which is why it goes from a 6 to a 7 for me. Mental health, I would say 3. Not great. Don't know how to make it better. Definitely need to make it better next year. Finally, when it comes to spiritual health, this one would be a 7 for me. I think all the meditation and similar practices in the recent few months have really helped me a lot in this field. Okay, finally, the wealth section. Let's start with money. I'm going to be very honest here. I think this one is like a 2 for me. I'm not exactly where I want to be and I don't know if I'm aligned with the goals that I have. So this is something which I really need to improve on. Career, maybe a 5. I'm doing a few things and finding them interesting, but there's definite scope for improvement even in this. And when it comes to personal growth, I would say I'm at an 8. Now there are a couple of ways to proceed from here. You can either link all these points and make a diagram, or you can take colors and color pencils and just color each section with different colors up to the point where your satisfaction is. Now I'm going to go the coloring route because I like coloring. However, you can go whichever route you like. We'll now use this chart as a guide for our goal setting journey. So circle the areas which are of concern to you. It is in those sections that our primary goals in our goal setting journey will be. Now, if you've skipped the earlier section, then you don't know what this is, but it doesn't matter. From this chart, I've determined that the 3 primary areas of concern for me are in the money, family and friends, and passions category. So I'm going to make a point where I want to be at by the end of 2024 in these three categories. Now let's get down to goal setting. The important thing while goal setting is to write down each goal in the present tense and be as specific as you can with the goal. If you still can't find a specific goal in a certain category, then just think of the sentence, if I could do blank in 2024, it would be awesome. Whatever your answer to this question is can be your goal. For example, if your answer is, if I can make 120,000 in 2024, it will be awesome, then there is your money goal. So according to this example, one of our goals for 2024 will be, I save 120,000 in 2024. You can also have similar goals in other categories. For example, in the physical health category, you can have something like, I eat fresh and healthy produce every day instead of processed foods, which is a very good physical health goal to strive towards. Now, I don't want to get into the specifics of my goals because I'm of the belief that you should not be announcing anything too early. But definitely write down these goals only and only for yourself so you know where you want to go. And if you need some extra motivation to go towards your goal, then do consider subscribing to this channel. Here we can form a community where we help each other and encourage each other to grow. The next thing we are going to do is break down our annual goal into monthly, weekly and daily tasks. So if we take the save 120,000 annually example, then 120,000 at the end of the year comes to about 10,000 per month. Then we break down weekly, which comes to around 2,400 per week, and then to 334 per day. Once we break this down, we'll write it down somewhere where we can see it every day, so we know whether we are on track to achieve our goals or not. So at the end of the week, for example, if we are not on track to achieve our goal of 2,400 and this keeps happening consistently, then we know that we have to make a change. For example, in the finance goals category, this can be something like take up a second job, work for additional hours if you're getting paid by the hour, or invest and find other sources of income, things like that. If we are in daily alignment with our goals, then there is no reason why we shouldn't achieve them by the end of the year. Now, once we have our goals in place, let's go a step further and try to find our why. Having a why is always helpful, especially on days when you feel all these goals overwhelming you. It reminds you why you started off in the first place. It's like your mission statement. In the past, I've often had trouble finding my why, but with this process, it becomes a lot easier. So come on, let's do it together. My why is that I want to be more in control of my life rather than feel like I'm drifting through it. I want to know that I'm living each day on my own terms with no regrets. Now, your why can be related to your finances, to your family, to your passions. All of these are valid, and so is your response. If you want, you can comment down below what your why is before starting this goal journey. And in 2024, when things become a little difficult and become overwhelming like they will, you can just refer to that comment again to remind you why you started off. And that's it. Coffee is over, candles out, chart is filled, goals are written. It's now time to go get them. If you want to know how to use these goals to make 2024 your best year yet, then here is a hand-picked video where I show you how I go about doing this exact same thing. You can go check it out. Click on it next if you have some time. Oh, and if you've come this far, then please consider leaving a like for this video. It lets me know that you enjoy this kind of content so I can make more of it. I'll see you guys in the next video.